Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for January the 2nd through the 8th, 2023. So, wow, first of all, I'd like to just say Happy New Year to everyone and to also welcome you all back to this new year and to also thank so many of you for just being with me for those 10 years and now starting 11 years here and on YouTube. And to also welcome any of you who are just discovering this community. So I welcome all of you, and I hope you had a beautiful and peaceful holiday season and also a restful and rejuvenating um, time of celebrations and reflections. And I know now everyone is sort of looking with hope. So there's a great energy of hope that we all are collectively focused upon um, as we start every new year. We start afresh, sort of, even though there's overlap, but there's something at this time of the year where um, we're inspired, we're hopeful, and so this collective sort of offering often does sort of help uplift the soul and to sort of lift us above of the the fray or the that constant. It just sort of lifts us out of the mud, so to speak, and helps us to lift our heads up and to just sort of get a sense of possibilities. And so be aware that this collective energy um, is activated. And when we all um, collectively act in this way or in any way, we automatically call in greater influences and higher influences of divine support. So just be aware that the divine guardians, the guardians of light, are um, very focused upon us at this time. And they are pouring, is the word I'm seeing, a floodgate of a boost of joy into our lives at this time to support the heart, to support the soul, to offer us an opportunity to find alignment. So they were writing before I started the word serendipity. So be aware of these kinds of um, opportunities and events and don't dismiss them. They are divine signs and divine opportunities to help sort of get you started, guiding you, all right, to sort of like a star guiding you towards your desires and dreams because there's a great intensity within us, you know. No matter how bad it's been, we always say, well, gosh, I can start new, or there's hope for this year, or I hope it's a better year. Any of that kind of intention is met with um, equal assistance. And because we're all doing it collectively, there's really a inpouring of light and joy to stimulate this kind of activity and creativity and inspiration. So just like to just say before we go further, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. Like and also leave comments, as you know, the energies that we've been going through recently and really intense have been really intense, and your comments, you never know who you might be helping. So make sure that whatever you spirit has given you to share in your heart, or any insights that have come out of this, to not be afraid and to share your comments. I just saw the word compassion, with profound compassion and great love and service. And I know sometimes some of us are shy, but just think of it as a compassionate service to other readers and viewers. And also, if you'd like to get an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. And this month, I'm extending that my first time promotional offer reading on my services page. So you can select that, everyone, unlimited. Um, and also, you have a PayPal me link. So if you're interested in just donating to my channel, then you can um, get, look. There's a link here in the description area, probably in the headline of the that I usually attach with the video if you're on like Facebook or something like that. So just be aware of that. Okay, so let's take a deep breath and let's connect in with the angels. And just allow yourself to be aware of the earth beneath your feet, the land, just connecting in with the land. They're indicating right now, the earth and the land. And be aware of the power. They write the word power, which may mean the energy. Notice anything that you are aware of, that you, any sensations of the earth and its power that you might be feeling. And then just allow yourself to ground, as if you maybe see roots flowing from your feet. And so that you're really connecting deep into the earth's core. And it's also good to check in with the earth or the land where you're living, to get a sense of sometimes be aware that you might need to clear that energy. So as we're trying to, and they write release, so we're going to call in the earth dragons. And just tune into your earth dragons right now. And the earth dragons can clear the land beneath your home or your apartment building. Now I'm going to see if I can find it in the deck. I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to. So you have, um, and this, and Dinah Cooper's Dragon Oracle. And it says, clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded, be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. So, really, now as we call upon them, to just clear the land around your home, your apartment, building, etc., to clear away any stuck energy so that you can start to move forward in the new year. And they're writing something about my symbol, the word, when I see the word cafe, that means networking. So if you've been feeling as though you're you're not networking enough, and I'm actually going to say this time it feels like they want you this year to start networking more. Okay, and they're writing father, and it seems like it feels like divine masculine in the sense that they want you to be more assertive in um, networking. Now, this could mean a lot of different things. So they just did write the word colleagues. They wrote the word follow, and it feels like that they want you to start following up more. So maybe it's clients or colleagues that you need to kind of sort of um, nurture these relationships, these partnerships more. You know, I get a feeling almost of celebrating them in some way, making these connections feel special. Letting them know how much they mean to you, um, and just doing, even every time you interact with them, there's these little kind little gestures that you think of that just makes them feel like you appreciate them and that you see them. And I don't know why I'm saying the word pocket. um, hmm, I get the first, I guess it was sort of like you'll have they'll be in your pocket, that expression. So that means you will. To me, it's like you'll gain allies. You'll gain partners that you can always rely on, and colleagues who you can always work with. Like they'll, if it's projects, they'll always want to be on your team, or whenever you call them for a project. If it's like more like freelance, they'll always make time for you. And and I don't know why I saw the word recession, but what I'm sensing about it is, even if there are some difficult times coming up financially, that people will, if you build these kind of relationships, in a way it won't affect you. If there are any kind of financial difficulties, um, you'll you'll have this you'll be able to rely on each other in some way. I can't say what it is, but it's going to create some kind of stability. So just be aware of nurturing um, your professional um, partnerships is very important. And also, I felt earlier that it's about all kinds of relationship. If you've not been getting out of the house, and socializing enough, it's time to pay attention. I think one of the things that has become very clear to me is that we have allowed technology to replace um, our relationships and our connections in the way that human beings need them. And so moving forward, as we're just seeing so many um, situations where truth is creating chaos, so that truth can create real change. And so there is a dismantling occurring in that. And there's a breaking of, certain situations, certain lines, they're breaking them. I mean, just, like the Me Too, or, some of the things that are happening politically. So, we're finding out all kinds of things, and we're isolated. And coming out of the pandemic, and even before going into the pandemic, let's be honest about it, and we're isolated, and then this causes us to really be afraid. We're super sensitive. Things really impact us more because when you feel alone, like you feel like, or you feel like if you're not alone, but you feel like you're having to bear everything on your own, and that's a lot of pressure. That's not part of our reality. As I said in the last couple of videos, the angels were saying that our independence is dependent upon our interdependence. And we've been hearing in previous readings in the last months about cooperation, community. And this is the core value of the um, of the new golden age. I just saw the word commonwealth. I don't know, but this is the core value of the fifth dimensional society: community, togetherness. You know, lifting each other up. Literally, in that fifth dimensional paradigm, no one does anything without it intentionally and purposefully, in every way possible, to lift others up with them. No one's frequency can, um, or lifestyle can be lesser than another's, because that will distort, it will create like a virus in that fifth dimensional consciousness and society. The three dimensional consciousness and society is you're on your own. What's mine is mine, what's yours is yours, and what you get is what you get. And you need to do better. You need to do better, as if you got it all together and everybody else doesn't, or certain people don't. And that is a virus within itself. That mindset is a virus within itself. Because if there's hungry people in the world, then then in the way the system is set up, then we're going to have people who are going to have to do whatever it takes to survive. And then that becomes a threat to those who have. And it's a vicious cycle. And it creates a system not of compassion, but of punity. And if we have this new paradigm and awareness that our independence is dependent upon our interdependence, and we are always making sure that we're all good, then there's no time like a recession that can really keep us all down. Now, I don't know why they wrote it. I don't know if they're saying that that's something like that's going to happen, or they're just using it as an illustration. But what, and a lot of, and it could be a recession in our consciousness, in our three-dimensional consciousness, that, is going to be, I'm seeing the word expenses, that it may be something that you just see in your own life, where your expenses are always a threat to you. And this is going to be because we are not networking enough. Because networking means community, networking means support. See? And then how can you feel threatened if you are building that fifth dimensional paradigm? And this is tools that we have available to us right now. But it's just that to be consistent with it, to um, give it all of your love and your effort and your focus, you are building that world of harmony, of oneness. We're doing it together. But the earth dragons can come in now and help you to start clearing the land. And you're going to find that that's going to be, um, trying to find a place to put this, but I'm going to have to set it aside because I don't think I have room for it here now, but we can bring it back later. But, clearing the land, it will, you're going to find that there's a lot of energy, sort of thought forms that we release, that the earth takes for us. And when your earth dragon clears this out for you, um, this helps you because you're sitting on top of that. Your foundation of your living area is sitting on top of those thought processes and those stories that have happened throughout centuries and ages of time. And sometimes that's why we need to tune into our land to make sure that the land is in alignment with what your soul's purpose and goals. All right, so let's take a look at the archangel. And and this is Archangel Purlimiek. So this is the archangel of nature. And says, let nature soothe you. Serve serve the nature kingdom. Okay? So he deals with all the plants and just nature. And so this is very interesting with the earth dragon coming through and the archangel of nature. So this first week, it's going to be really good for you, especially after coming off of the high. And for many people, we have to be honest about this, the lows of the holiday season. And so this is a time to get back in touch with the algorithms of nature. When you connect into the land after the earth dragons have cleared it for you, I'm just going to put this here again. After you've cleared the land, all right, and if you get a chance before, pay attention to your algorithm, your physical body's algorithm, the frequency, the energy, and how it's moving. And anxiety or these negative emotions are telling us just how much we are out of sync with our natural algorithms. And that could be because of the land or our space that needs clearing. So this is why the new year is a time to really be doing and thinking about things like this, clearing energy. And yes, because there could be stuck energy, that has accumulated and it's created negative energy, as in it's just creating stagnant energy because it needs for someone to call upon, the guardians of light of all the different levels and types of angels to with those influences and powers to come in, and the dragons can come in to the dragons are fourth dimensional. These dragons, the elemental dragons, are they had the opportunity to ascend, but they chose to remain close to earth, and because they have the ability that the angels don't have to go into the most dense frequencies and really clear and open up. So working with that dragon will really create the most profound shifts. They're fire dragons, just air dragons, earth and water dragons. Okay. just the basic elementals, and then they're in combination of two combinations. It could be earth and earth, water, dragon, etc. Fire, water, dragons, etc. But the point I'm trying to get to is that when you connect, go out in nature as a part of your New Year clearing, okay, clearance, to clear your energy, and to align with the algorithms of the purest form of nature itself. So remember, your physical body is Gaia, right? So to start off your year in alignment with Gaia. Now, I also know that I think a retrograde started at the very end of December. I'm not quite sure right now. I felt like I read it was like the 26th or the 30th, but it's like, and then it continues into January, for maybe a couple of weeks into January. Um, so, we're having this as well. So make sure that you use this opportunity to really clear and ground, yourself as this is going on, right? And once you get in alignment with your algorithms and the algorithms of Gaia, and you're doing this as a daily practice as much as possible, then you will find that you're in alignment with all things that you need to be aware of, that you need to be in um, receipt of. That's not the word I'm looking for, but that's the way I keep hearing it. Like the things what you need to be receiving, okay, and the path that of your journey, the journey that you're meant to be walking in the season, in this particular season of your life. And they're just writing the word compassion. They want you to have lots of compassion with yourself right now. And so, as much as I get a sense, as much as they're going to be a lot of things going on in your life and in the world that's just, seems to be contradicting harmony and peace and alignment, you your journey within this is specific. And so, what I mean by that is different. I don't want to say that first because I want to say specific. They want to hear yours, and they want you to highlight that specific, um, purpose, path, by not getting caught up in all of that. So, if you're really focused on and nurturing your soul's algorithm, then whatever that is will have very little effect. It's supposed to be there if you're noticing it, and it's supposed to impact you, but it doesn't have to, it should activate your divine journey and purpose, not derail or get you lost or caught up in it. So they're writing the word energy, with like fireworks around it. And just wrote the word examine. So they really want you to examine your energy, because they wrote the word, there's, because of the challenges and the changes. And so this, connecting with Archangel Purlimiek and this nature, tuning in and making sure your energy is in alignment with the algorithms of nature, which means the nature of your soul, the nature of the land, the planet, everything that's natural, because all of those things are filled with pure light. There's no distortions. The all the plant life does not hold, negative energy. It processes it. It's as if, and I don't know if anybody would agree with me, that the trees and nature, the plants, have always been in this fifth dimensional reality, or at least they have the clearest access to it, because everything is transmuted. They don't hold on to anything. So they've in that way they've always been able to maintain our divine blueprint for us if we connect in with it. That's why it soothes us, because it literally aligns us with that peace, divine peace, and compassion and love that we all remember in oneness. So that's why nature is so awe inspiring to us. Okay, so I'm gonna move this up there. And let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. So we have the death card, and that means huge changes. This means that there are, and they're just talking about the challenges, and he's sort of kneeling here, like begging death, like, no, no, can we just, I look, I gotta look here. Let's negotiate. What about this? You like these, don't you? I see it on your banner. Isn't will this be a good? Will you let me go by? You know, and you see in the background that a little boat it's almost off the screen. It's like, you know, and it's showing that things are moving forward. It's not under death's control to control time, but to show up when things need to change on the time on our timelines. That that we need there are going to be things that are about to pop off of our timeline. And that is for a reason. We often think we need. That's why attachment, the ego's attachment, all of that is to slow you down, to keep you from moving forward. So when you experience a loss, bless that, because there's something now that new that needs to pop on to your timeline. The greatest example of this, and I think you heard me say this before, even with people who have physically left my life through death, the physical death, um, I realized if they had still been on my timeline, that things would have been different. Like if my grandmother, did not pass when I left for college at 18, I would never have been talking to you right now. Not at all. Because I would have stayed in the city with her. I would have, been doing all kinds of things for her in that community, and I would never be doing this. You would never know who I am. So we have to think about when we lose something, and then what we don't like is the challenge of trying to figure out where we're supposed to be next. And we do end up where we're supposed to be next. And sometimes it's not what we like, because that is because we of all the resistance we kept giving, while the loss has already occurred. We're still fighting with it instead of moving on that path. Okay, so a lot of change is coming, and a lot of change needs to unfold in order for all of us to get where we're going. Now, this is interesting, the hermit. And I'm just going to play devil's advocate here for a minute. But since they brought that up in the beginning about networking, it's sort of almost like death is saying, because they're facing each other, to the hermit, all right, I'm here. It's time for you to get out of this isolation state. We need you now. You've gathered all the wisdom that you're going to gather. The rest of your exploration for inner for inner for self-discovery is going to come by putting yourself out there, trusting everyone, trusting yourself out there with others, letting them support you, letting them partner with you, letting them love you. Okay? So it's time now for you to bring back that wisdom. So in some way, in whatever way that you have sort of been guarding yourself or self-protecting yourself, or just keeping knowledge and information to yourself, keeping support to yourself, because you see how everything is right now, and you're like, oh, this is crazy, and I just can't deal with this. Then it's time to shift that slowly but surely. I mean, death isn't. He's not like gonna come in and just. But any movement is is an approval, um, of the death figure. So he's like, as long as you're doing, I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay, but don't try to negotiate with life. Accept it. Accept the loss, and move forward along the path. And I'm seeing the word passage, and maybe a passage is going to open up for you, but move forward. You have all the tools that you need. Okay, and we have the Queen of Swords, and she's the one, she's she's the one that's just gonna give it to you straight. And I always say this is my mother because she was Libra, and there's no pity party here. Um, you know, cut the cords, cut the crap, kind of thing, right? And do what you're supposed to do. No whining about it. Is the way I see this queen, and it's because she's reminding us that you have a purpose. You have a purpose. You have a mission here, that you're something that's important. And she also reminds us too that there are some sacrifices. Right now they're going to seem like sacrifices. She's often seen as the divorcee, or like that. She had to make that sacrifice of not having relationships in order to get the to get her to fulfill her purpose, to be that truth seeker or arbitrator of truth. It's just that we have their sometimes in the moment things don't seem like they're going to be fair, but in the outcome it will be. But right now, it's going to feel like this death card, the changes that are coming to your life that are being sort of thrust upon you, or you're feeling challenged by, they're going to seem unfair. And it just feels like once again I'm making another compromise here. And why is the universe always asking me to go without something? But it shows you here in the Hermit card, because you are wise. You're a wise one. And you know you may not, here again, this is the this independence, right? The Hermit is someone who's um profoundly independent, and doesn't rely on those attachments, and made a practice of letting go of attachments. So there is a certain aspect of your journey, is that you have a certain detachment that is a part of the work, the purpose, and it comes with the job, so to speak, that you're here to fulfill. And it just doesn't seem fair, because when we see everybody else, whether they're in relationships or they're doing this or doing that, it seems like you want to have all that other stuff, right? You want to have all this stuff, and so, but I feel like what they're trying to say is that this is temporary, but the sacrifice is necessary during these times. These times are incredible transitional times. We just crossed the midway point of the ascension process between 2012 and 2032. So it is imperative right now that we not allow ourselves to feel sorry for ourselves, although I do get it. And I'm not, look, I'm affected by this energy as well. But we have to focus. Our joy is going to come. It's going to come, and all our stuff, all our success, whatever you're wanting, it's going to come. But you have been given the charge of holding up the light. You've been given the charge of preserving it, holding it up, and when it's time, and we're nearing that time where it's going to be, now it's time to start getting out there, getting used to that, started dropping those seeds of light through our careers and through our communities and our interactions, because there are going to be incredible consequences when you do this. Because if you now we get out there and we activate more through whatever it is that you're doing, and you'll know, that is right in the word sign, you'll see the signs and you'll know when it's your time that you're going to make that sacrifice, and when it's time to kind of get out of your sort of isolation, your spiritual cocoon, and bring that light to others. They're just saying here, when the time comes, this is an honorable sacrifice. And um and again, no pity party. Just do it, move through it, and you'll see the rewards in the outcome. So to stay in tune with your inner nature, within the nature of the um, algorithms of the land and your own soul, so that you'll have the utmost clarity about all of this. And I've seen the word star seed, so I feel like there's going to be more star seed activations, um, and more energies coming in from the from other parts of the universe, other societies within the universe, to support us. So the card I pull from the bottom is the Five of Cups, okay? And so what they're really trying to tell you is don't get stuck on the loss, right? Don't get stuck on the things that go wrong somehow, or relationships that were not what you thought. And you know, every friendships or whatever, they serve a time and a season in your life. And now that your activation time is coming up upon you to move out, move forward, then things that those relationships, some of those relationships are not going to react the same, right? So they're going to change. And but the point is that don't burden yourself with what was. Keep moving forward. I mean, it's like the kite he's holding. The wind is just blowing it, in that direction. And he's not even paying attention to it. But he's probably missing that sign right there. And the butterfly over his head is just sprinkling light and saying, change, time for change. Instead of wallowing, just understand that this is a sign about the changes, where the changes are need to happen. And they're writing the word help. These signs are actually helping you. You might feel like you're being punished or something, but it's actually helping you. So let events unfold as they are, and understand that everything truly does happen for a reason. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week in the first week of the year. God bless you.